Nations people and the impact the fossil fuel industry has made on us. I had a very hard time finding what to speak today because there are so many things that have been said and said again, and it seems to fall on deaf ears. And then I was having a conversation a few days ago with a man who wasn't racist, which we run into a lot. Some important points were stressed to me. One, that being Native, I am too biased to determine if land encroachment is about taking Native rights away. Two, it is simply the government working within their rights for progress. And three, we need to just assimilate already and stop relying on our history of genocide as a crutch. After I cooled down a bit, I began to wonder, when is it time to stop caring about the genocide of your people? And who determines when that time is up? Is it the oppressors? I don't think so. Our genocide is a story of the murder of millions of people in the name of progress and destiny. Our people were enslaved, tortured, raped, and murdered. Our fathers, sons, husbands, and brothers' lives were extinguished, while our women went through forced sterilization in a time when we lacked anesthesia, so that the oppressors could rape them without consequence, while forcing them to slave labor on their own land. Thanksgiving originated as a celebration for the extermination of a tribe, ending in a feast of thanks to the oppressor's God for helping wipe out the savage and clearing the promised land for their destiny. And every year we are reminded of this and told to just enjoy a family day. And just before that, we are asked to celebrate one of the worst criminals in history, Columbus, whose atrocities were so great, only his newfound wealth saved him before the court, because money was more important than people. The cavalry came and scalped our people and reveled in the color of our blood, naming us the Redskins. Then we were made mascots and told to appreciate they were honoring our people. They forced our children into assimilation schools at the age of 5, ripping them away from their families, where they beat the Indian out of them and worse. We are told to be thankful we are still alive. Our culture was stolen from us, our families were taken from us, identity stripped from us. But we are still here, and we are not going away. And this brings me to my point. The genocide continues today. How are we to let go when it is still happening? For decades now, the land we were fenced into like cattle has been encroached on inch by inch in the name of progress. Poisoning our water and our land, we have faced rising levels in cancer and other environmental illnesses caused by the runoff of an industry that is no longer viable. Our people have been dying and struggling to survive against systematic oppression and systemic racism for centuries, but we are no longer alone. Now the poisoned waters are seeping into the whitelands and food contaminated. We are all in danger. We are all affected, and all in the name of progress. What is progressive about destroying our pristine waters, our air, and our agricultural lands, dooming our people and our planet to extinction? Creating short-term jobs that will leave us struggling to afford the price of clean water in bottled form from big corporations who will also own all of our food supply and air in cans, while our children are suffocating from the toxicity our greed and laziness created. Progress to me means leading the country in the use of renewable energies. Progress is using our resources for farming our own food, creating self-sufficiency and sustainability that we can truly be proud of. Yeah. And now, I'm going to ask of you all to imagine what we can accomplish together if our misconceptions are put aside. If the white people stop and recognize what their ancestors have done to the First Nations, see that you are not responsible for their deeds, but you are responsible for what you do to continue and support them. Look at the First Nations people and acknowledge our suffering and the greatness of our people. See us as humans, not subhumans, not oddities or tokens, but as humans who deserve to be treated with respect as we are in our culture. Don't expect us to assimilate into a culture that has treated us, our earth, and themselves with disregard. Instead, let us stand side by side and reinvest in Montana and work towards a future we can all thrive in.